Hi, I'm Lady Newman, and I'm going to inform you about the importance of adopting a dog. Adopting a dog is a simple way to help make a big change in the world. By adopting a dog, you're helping save the life of an animal, change their life and your life, maybe save some money, and shed light on shelters everywhere. Personally, I have bought specific breeds of dogs, adopted dogs, and saved them from certain situations, whether it be on the side of the road or from someone who did not want them. These are sad situations, and adoption can help put an end to animals being put in situations like these. I have also made a point to research and become more educated about the adoption process so that I can inform others about how it can be beneficial. I'd like to give you a brief history of how pet adoption began. Homeless animals have not always been protected in the United States. Like most societal institutions, animal adoption and shelters have a history. American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals was founded in 1866. It was the first animal welfare organization in the U.S. and focused initially on the mistreatment of horses. Several other humane societies were found in cities but were not affiliated with one another. At first, dog licenses were issued to raise money for these organizations, which were meant to protect private property and provide public safety rather than protect animals. The Pennsylvania SPCA became the first to focus on the treatment of shelter animals in 1874. And prior to the 1970s, most shelters were largely focused on humane euthanasia of animals that were not adopted or reclaimed. In the late 1970s, veterinary input led to increased preventative care and treatment programs. But in 1877, the American Humane Society had a meeting and spoke about many options that year that put an end to the inhumane treatment not only to dogs but to children too. This was such a positive change and a step forward in the direction of adoption. Without this meeting or decision, we would be nowhere where we are now with the amount of shelters that we have all over the world for children and animals. When you adopt an animal, you're not only changing but saving their life. Some of the animals in shelters have been beaten or abandoned. You're giving them a second chance at life. Another reason adoption is so important is that you help break the cycle of pet overpopulation. There aren't enough homes to house every animal that is born per year, so there are many animals that get euthanized because they did not get adopted. When you make the decision to adopt a pet, you get a lifetime resource with shelter employees and volunteers. The employees and volunteers at the shelter would be great resources to find information and answer any questions that you may have about your animals. You should know that when you adopt a pet, you're adopting a pet who has been receiving great care. The animal that you adopt has been vaccinated, gone through screening behavior processes, and have had weekly visits for their health care issues by a veterinarian. You're supporting a valuable charity and community institution when you adopt a pet. You also encourage others around you to adopt animals from shelters. When family, friends, or someone from the dog park asks you about your dog or where you got them, you tell them that you got it from the shelter. And this sheds a light on animal shelters and makes people think more about adopting a pet instead of just going out to buy one. You're benefiting the world when you adopt a pet. You're changing their life as well as your own, and hopefully gaining a new best friend.